Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Elisa, and on this channel, I'm usually doing deep dives and deconstructing videos on the yin-yang methodology. If you don't know what that is, I will leave some links in the description box down below, but in short, it is essentially a method in which you discover your unique beauty, so that way you can thoroughly and harmoniously express it through a wardrobe, through different makeup applications. So anyways, if that is something that you're interested in, I highly encourage you to stick around, poke around my channel, and see what there is to be discovered around this methodology. But today I'm going to be doing a monologue style video and in this video, and I kind of mentioned this in a previous video, I wanted to touch on my beauty mentors. I have been on this beauty aesthetic journey for a little while now, and I thought that it would be fun to kind of run through the Rolodex of people that have really had a significant impact on my beauty aesthetic journey. So we'll get started, we'll dive right in. So first off, I kind of want to share with you what kind of the qualifications I have for someone to be a mentor in my life. For someone to be a mentor in my life, or for me to consider a beauty mentor, they either have to have a skill set that I can easily implement into my life. So they have to offer some sort of technical knowledge and be in the position of a professional in their industry. Or I have to be able to really relate. So those are kind of like the two attributes I'm looking for in a beauty mentor when it comes to maybe like my physical beauty aesthetic. But I also have a part of this video that I'm going to be sharing my beauty mentors that are more in the realm of spiritual and emotional mentors. And these are the individuals that have just made a really huge impact on my life. They've been able to offer different viewpoints and perspectives on beauty, and they continue to be an important part of my life. So without further ado, we'll get diving straight into my list of beauty mentors. So first I want to talk about makeup and kind of cosmetic. So my beauty journey, as I shared in my beauty illiteracy video, was not always, it wasn't linear. So it's not that I started wearing makeup when I was younger and then progressively got better. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster ride. But there was a point in time in my beauty aesthetic journey that I really wanted to start wearing makeup and kind of do some mild enhancements. So these are the individuals that really helped guide me through this part of my beauty aesthetic journey. So the first individual is someone I call Papa Wayne, Wayne Goss. So Papa Wayne is a male makeup artist who I absolutely adore and respect. He is so talented at what he does. He has his own line of brushes. He has his own line of makeup now, both of which I have not actually purchased just because I'm very mindful with my purchases and I just haven't had a need for them. But I say that because he knows what he's doing. He's positioned himself as a professional in this industry, and his work really speaks for that. So Wayne really helped me in my beauty journey because the information that he gives, that he offers on his YouTube channel and through his Instagram is all very practical and easy. It's made easy for the user. So even though he's a highly skilled professional, anything that he's volunteering to normal kind of non-professional makeup artists like myself, I'm able to easily implement at home on myself. So he really taught me a lot about my eye shape, and I do have a hooded eye, and some of his makeup techniques have really helped me navigate that specific characteristic of mine that a lot of other women who don't have hooded eyes don't really have to consider or navigate around. So I just love his work. I think it's beautiful, and he really had a huge impact on how I use makeup today. So the next person on my list who is makeup based, a makeup mentor of mine, is Lisa Eldridge. I love Lisa Eldridge. She is this woman that easily falls into being a mentor for me because she, again, like Wayne, positions herself as a professional in her industry, but is still able to offer approachable tips to doing your own makeup. I also happen to really love her makeup looks that she creates. So she has a client base of beautiful women that I absolutely, just find so stunning. But she also has this way of teaching you how to do your own makeup that is so approachable, and I love that. I also love her makeup that she does on herself. She keeps it kind of clean and polished and fresh, but she does these little kind of tweaks to maybe bring in a little more drama or to make a look appear a little more avant-garde, and I just love that. She has a very nuanced approach to makeup, and I think it's really refreshing and timeless, especially in this makeup kind of sphere that we're in right now, that's been kind of created by beauty YouTube, that it has to be heavy and it has to be maybe a little unnatural. And Lisa, to me, really embodies doing editorial makeup that still has this kind of naturalistic feel to it that I just love and appreciate. So her work is stellar, and to use her techniques on a at-home, beauty regimen in makeup is effortless in my experience. So love, love, love her. The next person on my list here is a woman by the name of Shelby Wilson. She has a little something different for me and is why I consider her a mentor. She is the type of woman that I can see myself palling around with. So she's the chick that I would go makeup shopping with. Unlike Wayne and Lisa, where they seem a little outside of my range, like I couldn't imagine ever going shopping with Lisa Eldridge or Wayne Goss. I mean, I would, Wayne and Lisa, if you ever see this, like I'll go makeup shopping with you guys. But Shelby is one of those chicks where I feel like her and I could cross paths, and she's just so down to earth and like the girl next door that I could have a friendship with her. And because of that, I can have this relationship where I watch her videos and I see myself, it's kind of like this reflection, not to get weird or anything, because parasocial relationships can it's a little strange to think about. But what I'm trying to convey here is that I see enough of me in her that I feel really comfortable applying her techniques to myself. And that includes our physical characteristics. She has very rounded features. She's not a woman that has a very chiseled kind of facial structure. She's not very yang. She's very yin leaning. And because of that, I can easily implement her makeup techniques on myself and come up with very similar results, which are extremely flattering. Her approach is also very kind of naturalistic and more dabbles in the mild enhancements rather than a very makeup kind of look. So she also has, I need to mention this for all my hooded eye girls out there. So Papa Wayne was definitely huge in my navigating my hooded eyes, but Shelby also has hooded eyes herself. And to watch her different techniques on how she does eye makeup and to make it sophisticated, a little bit elevated, while still navigating her hooded eyes was something that I just really needed in my makeup application technique. So I often find myself going back to her channel, seeing what she's up to, just kind of, curiously observing all of her new little makeup techniques if she has any. But really, she's a woman that just has this timeless approach to makeup, which is something that I wanted for myself. Her makeup always looks fresh, it looks clean, and And, she really she's kind of in that middle ground where she likes a high quality makeup look, but she can also point you in the direction of some drugstore alternatives if you're new to makeup and just want to try out some products to see how you like it. So she was kind of my introduction into actually procuring makeup items that she suggested and trying her techniques on myself. So the last person that I want to mention here that has had a major impact on how I view makeup application is a gentleman by the name of John McLean. I love this individual. His sense of humor is far surpasses anyone else's. He's just the best. I really recommend that you go watch him. I love him. So aside from loving him as a person, I also love his makeup application, his approach to makeup, I should say. John was one of the first people I came across that taught me about dimension and how to make enhancements on your face just simply using some pigment and keeping dimension in mind. So I watched this one tutorial of his that was kind of focused on like contouring your facial shape and contouring your eye shape. And although I don't go for a highly contoured look because it just kind of doesn't really do much to bring forward my natural beauty. My natural beauty is better enhanced with subtle enhancements rather than a very severe chiseled look. Even though he was going for a little bit more of like a chiseled look, and he can because he has this amazing bone structure, I still understood what he was teaching me. What he was teaching me was about shadow and light and overall dimension of the face. And when I picked up on this simple principle of just dimension of the face, I was able to effectively create really simplistic makeup looks that really focused on subtle enhancement. So some of the things that I originally learned from John, I still use today. And it's like, once I saw things explained in that way, I couldn't unlearn it. I jumped the fence over into an entirely new viewpoint. So those are my makeup mentors. Okay, so the next category of mentors that I want to mention is surrounding skincare and hair care. My hair journey was a huge part of my beauty aesthetic journey. If you guys were following me over on Instagram or even saw my very first YouTube video that I posted, it was actually around my hair because this is my natural hair texture and I was always looking to embrace and enhance that. So the woman that had the most significant impact on my hair journey was the woman that first introduced me to the curly girl method, and that is Allison, and she runs the channel Real Life Curly Girl. I was scrolling on on YouTube, and I came across this video because at the time I was looking to move forward in some sort of beauty regimen, and I knew I wanted to take better care of my hair. I just didn't know what that was supposed to look like. And I happened to come across a video of hers that was talking about naturally wavy texture, which I knew my hair was always wavy, and how to kind of combat frizz. And I was like, oh, that's something that I'm very interested in. So I watched it, and then that began my journey of taking care of my natural texture. So I have to give her props, and today I can say honestly that I don't really follow her much anymore because I did come up with my own routine and there was a whole curly hair, wavy hair journey in between, but she really was a springboard for me and really served as a beauty mentor for quite some time in my curly hair journey. So next is my skincare mentors, and this is kind of morphed and changed, but it started out with a woman, and her name is eluding me right now, but she runs the channel Gothamista, and it's here on YouTube. She, in the beginning of my skincare journey, because again, I knew I wanted to start taking just overall better care of myself. She had a lot of product reviews, and she also was able to teach in a way that was digestible. She was kind of slow paced about it, and again, it was much like my makeup mentors. It was very approachable. So I could always rely on her for very concise information, for a concise approach to a skin routine, for in-depth information. She was always testing out new products, so she would be my go-to person if I was entertaining buying a product. So she was kind of like this launch pad for me to explore what there was to explore in skincare. And then I moved forward and I found another mentor in the skincare game, and her name was Leah Yu, and I think I'm pronouncing her name correctly. She's actually the founder and creator of Crave skincare products. I have tried quite a few of her products from her line, and I love them. They're fairly naturalistic. I'm pretty picky about what I put on my skin. I have a little bit of leeway when it comes to makeup, but I do like to keep it in the naturalistic realm. But when it comes to my skincare, especially since it's the first thing that's going on to my skin, I'm very, very picky. So her skincare line just really spoke to me, and she has her own channel where she was giving lots of useful information. So I was able to effectively put her in the position of being a mentor to me because the information was understandable, it was concise, and I could rely on her. So I really recommend that you go check out her channel. It really is, she has a lot of great information. So the most recent though, skincare mentor that has come into my life, and I'm so grateful to have her in my life, is Lisa with Peaches Skincare. So I mentioned her in my last video, and truthfully, Lisa and I are fairly new to each other, but you just meet those people in your life that you know are like your people, and Lisa is one of those people to me. She is my people. She just fits into my little tribe of people seamlessly. We're kind of like these two puzzle pieces that came together, and we fit, pretty well together. And I'm really grateful for that. I've had a few people on this platform that I've met that's been the case, and I'm so grateful for those friendships. But she's really kind of come into being this skincare mentor for me. I have some of her products that I'm trying out right now, and I'm really, really pleased with them so far. I kind of want to save that. I don't want to speak too much to that in this video, but she just is willing to be that person for people, and not just to me. I see her in her comment section, and she has other clients and users of her products that come in. They have questions. She's willing to answer them. She's just a mentor kind of by nature, I feel like at this point. She's a master esthetician. She knows what she's talking about, and she really just wants to deliver the best holistic skincare regimen and products to people. And I just love that about her. So she has easily slipped into this role of being a mentor for me, not only because of that, and this is kind of dabbling into another category of mine, but I think spiritually and emotionally, she is a woman that I can really look up to. So super grateful to have Lisa in my life today, and she kind of rounds out this whole skincare, hair care, cosmetics mentors for me. So let's go ahead and move forward with my mentors as it pertains to my wardrobe. Now this looks a little bit different because I don't think that I have one person that I'm trying to fashion myself after. These are more so people that gave me principles. So it's not that I want to look like them or, like Lisa Eldridge, I want to quite literally apply her makeup application onto myself. So it doesn't quite look like that with these kind of wardrobe mentors. They more just offered me principles and a new perspective. So the first is Audrey Coyne, and we actually did a collaboration together a few months back, and she definitely easily became a mentor to me, not because I wanted to, again, adopt her specific style. I feel that we do have different beauty and style aesthetics. There are some similarities, but we do have different style aesthetics. But really what she was teaching is some fundamental principles, and a video that really kind of captured me into Audrey's world is she did a video talking about suggestions on what to wear when you're traveling to Europe, and I was looking to take a European European vacation relatively soon. And I found a lot of value in that video. It wasn't just, okay, pack comfortable shoes and, the normal kind of checklist of things to do when you're going to be vacationing in another country. She also focused on offering a certain level of refinement while you're over there. And the goal was to essentially not look like you're so much of a tourist, to kind of integrate yourself into the culture, which I really appreciated. So I found myself after that watching video after video, and I really adore her style and I adore her channel. I'm sure many of you watching this already know of Audrey, but if you don't, go and check her out because she really is a gem. So she kind of fell into this mentor role for a moment while I was still kind of getting my baby deer legs on ground with my personal style. So the last woman here that served as kind of a mentor in this style journey of mine is a woman that runs the channel, Karen Britchick, and obviously her name is Karen. I love her channel. I love her energy. I just love her. She's just like a person that I totally jive with. So she actually gave me some new perspectives on like street style and what people are doing out there. And there's kind of like there's no right or wrong, and it's a little more fluid than that. And that became apparent to me with these videos that she did regarding that kind of showcased people on the New York streets and what their street style was like. So I think she titles her videos What People Are Wearing in New York, and then it's like, July 2020 or whatever it is. And I thought that was so cool, especially since I'm not able to go and see this for myself, like what is going on in metropolitan New York and what are people wearing? What does it look like to experience that? Because the city that I'm from, we're not rich in style culture. That's not really something that goes on here, and it's all fairly, I live in the mountains and everyone's kind of more concerned with outdoor activity and kind of the function of a wardrobe rather than these metropolitan cities where you can get a little more creative with it. There's not a need as much for the utility of clothing. So I just thought that it was such a cool thing that she was doing, and it really broadened my perspective on the possibilities of personal style. So she quickly became kind of like this mentor, and I also loved what she had to share about her personal style. She also kind of keeps you up to date with like her just overall lifestyle aesthetic, which I thought was really cool. So she's kind of a woman that embodies I don't know, creative freedom, but simultaneously kind of having it together. And I just loved that. So now that we've gone through the physicalities of this beauty aesthetic and who my mentors are around that, I really want to take a little time to go over and to highlight my beauty mentors as it pertains to spiritual and emotional beauty. Now, I mentioned this in my last video on the 5 tips to own your unique beauty, how spiritual and emotional wellness, for me, in my experience, played a significant role in my overall beauty aesthetic and like fully expressing myself. And I really stand by that. And when I was coming up with this video concept of sharing my beauty mentors, I just felt like it would be short-sighted if I didn't share the women that had an impact on my spiritual and emotional beauty journey. So the first individual that had and still continues to have a significant impact on my spiritual and emotional beauty is a woman by the name of Stormy. And Stormy actually has her own YouTube channel. She's a professional astrologer, but that's not actually how we met. And that's definitely not what our relationship is kind of centered around. So we actually met through some mutual friends, and it was at a point in my life where I suppose I was looking for a little more guidance in life. I felt like maybe there was more to be discovered. And Stormy and I crossed paths in what I think is a very divine way. Neither of us really were intending to meet each other, but we did. And she befriended me, and she really took me under her wing and kind of taught me what it's like to live as a woman of integrity in this world, to live as a woman that is just giving herself some grace place and growing spiritually in this world. And that was about 3.5 years ago. And so her and I, we continue to have this really cool relationship where I can call her anytime about anything and we can chat it out and come up with, solutions to whatever's going on in my world, which is really cool. And what does that have to do with beauty? To me, like I said, that has everything to do with beauty, because if I'm not right and harmonious and whole on the inside, then my outside can just be a hollow shell of a representation of something that's not actually authentic. And for me, I think that striving towards growing spiritually and emotionally and becoming more mature in those areas is very significant to my beauty aesthetic journey. If I'm not feeling right on the inside, I can't possibly be whole on the outside. So, my relationship with Stormy is just, it continues to flourish and it's really cool. And she's definitely a woman that has had a huge impact on my spiritual and emotional beauty journey. Okay, so my next beauty mentor in this category of spiritual and emotional mentors is a woman by the name of Gretchen. And the funny thing about Gretchen and how she made it onto this list is that I didn't even realize that Gretchen had this sort of impact on me. I've known Gretchen for about 10 years now. And when I first met her, it was this whole experience that I didn't know was going to be of great use to me as I grew into womanhood. So when I first met her, I was all of maybe 22, 23, just a baby woman Elisa. And I just had a lot to learn when it came to being a woman in this world and expressing my beauty and everything like that. And I just remember Gretchen coming in and day out, and she really exemplified a woman that I would love to grow into. She had this particular connection to her faith that kept her spirit kind of alive. She's just a little exuberant, I guess is the word. Like, she just has this like loftiness about her, and it's very contagious. She's an extremely optimistic person, and I really, really give credit to her commitment to her faith on that. And, aside from that, she's kind of part of like a whole package because she also had a personal beauty aesthetic. So she was kind of just this whole embodiment of a woman that was very aware of what she had to offer, was not ashamed of her womanly attributes or being that woman in the world. And she just kind of held her head high, but not above, which was really refreshing. So I reached out to her to do this video because I didn't want to just like insert her in here without, asking her permission. And she just had no idea that she had this kind of impact on me. And I didn't either until I sat down and thought about the concept of this video. But, I just feel like it would be short-sighted to not mention her because of all the times that she came in offering me little tips on like makeup, or, she would say something like, oh, I feel like you would look a lot better with brown eyeliner rather than black. And she was absolutely right. She knew what she was talking about. She's very well versed in makeup and physical beauty aesthetic, but she also just kind of had every now and again these little kind of one-liners that she would shoot over to me that they just kind of like hit me, they just kind of pierced me. And like I said, I didn't realize it at the time, but as I grew older and as I experienced womanhood a little bit more, I came to understand what she was saying and what she meant. And I also came to understand her actions around certain things and how she was able to hold her composure so well. And, really just kind of be that person in life that, I don't know, just really wants the best for people, genuinely wants the best for people. So Gretchen, to this day, I think it's not necessarily that she's in my life at the present, but the experience that I had with her really had an impact as I've grown into womanhood, which is pretty cool. So that's how she fell into my mentorship list here. Now, the last woman that's on the list of my spiritual and emotional beauty mentors is my Aunt Gloria. Now, I had talked about in my beauty illiteracy video how I come from a very big family, and there was never a defined moment where my mother or my stepmother ever sat us girls down and said, "This is how you beauty." And it was really like there was a lot of people. I have 5 sisters, one brother. There's just a lot of people everywhere all the time. And so every now and again, my aunt, she would come and pick me up, and her and I would just spend a little bit of time together. I think that she really liked spending time with me because I was less than a block away from her, and she had 2 boys, so she didn't have any girls. And my aunt she's kind of a feminine woman. She really does enjoy the feminine things in life, the domestic things and stuff like that. So we enjoyed making Rice Krispie treats together and stuff like that, but she also kind of liked dolling me up a little, and she also enjoyed letting me play around with some of her like lipsticks, and she always had these cute little perfume samples that she would give me, and they were just right, like I'm this little girl, and so they're cute and little, and so I'd take them home, and she would let me play with like her hair rollers and stuff like that. So it was kind of like this mutual relationship where I got to have a little bit of one-on-one time with a woman, like a motherly figure, and she got to have one-on-one time with like a daughterly kind of figure, and that was really cool to experience. And then as I grew older, and especially when I came into my own beauty journey, I started to have a real appreciation for my Aunt Gloria and the thought and attention she puts into her beauty aesthetic. It's not something that I realized when I was younger because I think I was just so distracted with my own life and everything. But coming into my own beauty journey, every time I interact with my Aunt Gloria or see her, I'm like, oh, she's very intentional about what she wears, and she has a really good sense of what works for her. She's a very petite woman. Her and I are very similar, and she just always looks so cute. She's got these cute little boleros, and she just looks cute. She's got cute little wedges on, and I think because of that, she just kind of easily slipped into this little mentor of mine, especially since she's coming into a more mature age. I can kind of see, like I have the vantage point of seeing where my personal beauty aesthetic could go. Because as a younger kind of woman that I am right now, I'm 32, it gets a little scary to think, what is my beauty aesthetic going to morph into when I get into a more mature age? And to see that my aunt still takes a lot of pride and puts into practice, this whole beauty aesthetic of her own. I don't know, it's kind of encouraging to see that just because we get older and some years go by and we come into a more mature age doesn't mean that we have to retire into some sort of stuffy wardrobe or something like that. And I just think that's a really cool thing. She takes very good care of herself, and she also happens to be a woman who she also kind of has this light about her, like the other 2 women in my life that I mentioned in this little mentor section. She is extremely positive. She just has a great sense of humor. She's always giggling about something. Anytime I visit her, we're always laughing about something. And she's just a really kind woman in the world. So yeah, I really wanted to pay her some homage here. And I also had the opportunity, the really cool experience about making this video is that I got the opportunity to connect with some women and tell them, like, fully express how they felt or how I felt, because I guess sometimes when I put somebody in the place of being like mentor, there's not necessarily a dialogue of like, hey, you're my mentor now, it just kind of happens, and I have this certain perspective on them. So that was like a really cool aspect of making this video. But I feel like I've spoken for long enough, and I've given you guys a really good idea of who my beauty mentors are, and I would be really interested to see who your beauty mentors are, if you have any, maybe if you're looking for some, and what that experience was like for you. But that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you will like, share, and subscribe if you did, and I will see you at the next one. Bye.